able to do it for less amount of time, then you might be able to do something else.
Yes.
Maybe paperwork is not your forte. I hear a lot about realtors.
Are you talking to me?
I was, Bob. I knew that about you. And then,
You know, and I hear two theories in that. You hear that we need to really address our weaknesses because that's what holds us back. And I hear people who go, oh my gosh, no, I'm supposed to focus on my strengths because that's where I can really create something. So you're more the strength.
I'm actually more of a leverage. I think that you should leverage other people's strengths to offset your weaknesses.
I see.
So it is, I guess, play on your strength, but what you also want to do, you don't want to just play on your strength. You want to leverage someone else's strength to off where your weakness is. And so it is a matter of understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are and be very honest with that and make sure you offset it.
Yeah. And so you have, as you hire, you have them take a personality profile test.
Well, it's not a test.
Excuse me, an analysis.
Yes, it's because there's nothing wrong or right, and so test indicates pass fail.
Good
so
point.
it's just a profiling.
But you do that, and you literally could have a fabulous person and say, I misjudged that you aren't a fit, you won't be happy.
Exactly. Maybe I need to find a different role for them. I'm not saying that I would say, no, we wouldn't hire you, but, you know, if you were coming in as a transaction coordinator and you were a high D and you weren't analytical or organized, you wouldn't do very well very long, and you would go nutty. Yeah. Now, there are people who can operate for a long period of time outside their comfort zone, but again, it takes a lot of energy, and after a while, they burn out. Those to people that, you know, really were the movers and shakers within Keller Williams anyway.
Yeah.
And
but hasn't that changed? Remember when a mover and shaker used to do, you know, I don't know, 50 sales a year? Now these guys do incredible numbers.
They do 300 to 500.
Yeah, with big teams, and it's remarkable how the industry...
Yeah, and my philosophy, I think, like, I see some of these people, and it's like, he's been really good at what he does, and he's very much an internet person. But if you look at his team numbers and the number of people he has, the average agent on his team is not closing very many deals. So for me, I would prefer to have a smaller group of people that are performing really well.
And they're happier.
Yeah, they're making money. The whole idea is making money. And also my belief is if you can make more money without me, then I'm not doing my job. So my job is to supply you with support, to supply you with structure, and to help supply you with leads. Now they also bring in their own business, but they pay me for that as well. But again, I should be adding enough to their business that even though they're paying me on everything, they're making more money than they would have if they had just had their own business getting 100%.
Yes.
And so I'm able to sit down and show that to somebody because I was a buyer's agent. I was on a team, and I was able to run the numbers and go, I can make more money and work less doing this on my own and not paying someone. So you have to have that give and take.
Yeah.
And so...
But you actually quantify that. Then look, here's how much you're creating, and let me also, just to keep it in perspective.
Yes. My assistants make, you know, $40,000, $50,000+ a year. I have no problem with that. I'm like, you know, or $1 million deal, you know, and you get 100,000. I'm like, oh, and she gets 10,000 and I get 90,000. I don't think I have a problem with that. I'm like, really? I'm going to be so greedy, and that's the thing. I think, don't be greedy.
And as you describe that, that's so incredibly obvious. But the business model isn't that. It's how do I, you know.
It's all about the agent and my paycheck and my payout, and they forget about all the hard, you know. You wanted to pay that person $15 an hour and make $100,000. Let's talk about the disparity here.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, that they're not going to make $100,000 or $200,000 a year. But if they did, well, that means I'm doing really well.
Yes.
I mean, that's
I hope
fine
they
with
do.
me.
Sure.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's pretty interesting. So they are truly vested in every transaction.
Absolutely.
If you have a slow month, they have a slow month.
And we all have had to learn how to budget well because you do have those months.
Fabulous. So the database is yours. I mean, it's you control the names and the people, and if they choose to leave.
And we add theirs, and if there are people, we actually have a contract, which you absolutely have to have a contract with the people on your team, including my assistants have contracts with me. if it's their client, say it was generated by me and they leave, we both get that contact person. And then if your client decides to stay with you, then that's
the best
fine.
woman win, huh?
Exactly. But if it was yours, it was from you somehow, it's totally yours, I would take it out of my database.
That's huge. I think because a lot of these buyer agents on these teams, they know from day one that everything I continue to contribute to this database is never mine. And it creates a bit of a conflict as compared to knowing you'll treat me fairly if I leave.
Exactly. Well, here's the deal. That person didn't develop a relationship with me through the transaction. They developed a relationship with that agent. So reality is that I can market to them all I want, but they remember Michelle or Lloyd, not me, because they never met me.
Yes.
So what really?
I get it, but I'm telling you that's unique. The teams I talk to, they got the power and the control, and when people leave, they go.
Again, the more you try to choke hold somebody, I think the faster they're going to leave you.
Yeah.